The Decent Living program is a program really bringing 4 different aspects together. Water and sanitation in urban slums, affordable and safe and secure housing, and also making sure that people that live in the slum areas know their rights and also know how to execute them and how to hold the authorities accountable. And of course also livelihoods, earning a living. So it's all the components that we would think of as a decent life, a decent living. So the project is financed by the Swedish Postcode Lottery and brings together WaterAid and WeAffect and our partners SSA, CD, working with the expertise and the knowledge that we have in these different areas, but coming together, making sure that in the districts where we work in an integrated way and an integrated approach. Today we've met with some of the people living in these communities and are highly engaged in making sure this change into a more decent life in these areas actually do happen. May, one of the women that we talked with and that presented, she really said that before, for example, before we knew the rights that we had and before we knew the avenues that we could go to really hold the authorities accountable and how we could partner with them in making sure change happens, we were afraid of the authorities. We didn't want to go and talk to them. We didn't know who to go and talk to. But now we've been through both education and training. We actually work together with the authorities to see how can we improve life in these settlements, and how can we make sure we work together for a better city of Kampala and for a decent life for all of our communities. And what she said is really, now I have hope. Now the communities have hope that we were going to have a better life and that our children will have a better life. One of the aspects of having a decent living in the urban slums is of course access to clean, safe water. WaterAid, together with the water utility of Kampala and the Kampala city authorities, have looked at different ways of making sure that poor people living in slums do have access to safe water. One of the technologies and one of the approaches that are being tested and are being implemented in Kampala is prepaid meter, where the vendor that we talk to, Noor, is making sure people can have a chip and then be able to recharge, like you would recharge a prepaid SIM card, for example. So you can yourself decide the amount of money that you charge your chip with, and then you can, through using the chip to the pumps, you can get access to the amount of water that you need to have. And this have really decreased the cost of clean water for the inhabitants in these informal settlements around Kampala. Before, Noor told us that they used to pay 200 shillings for 1 jerry can of 20 liters of water from private vendors. Now they pay, through these prepaid meters, they do pay 200 shillings for more or less 8 jerry cans of water. So this is making sure that all people and part of a decent living do have access to clean, safe water for yourself and your families. So WaterAid and WeAffect would really like to thank all the people in Sweden who bought lottery tickets and made sure the Postcode Lottery could finance decent living. You're making a huge difference in many people's lives. Thank you so much for being a part of decent living and being a part of making a huge change for the people living in Kampala.